Hi everybody, it's Shellie Palmer. Um, if you're familiar with my work, my books, started a book series a little more than 16 years ago. And through the first book to where I'm at now, um, has thrown a lot into perspective through the years. I've done a lot of growing, I've done a lot of changing. That's just the progression that we all go through in life, our changes in direction and transformation, and it just really all goes in hand. And I know that's why I wanted to write the books that I did. And coincidentally, if you remember, um, in the first two seasons from the Life, Living, and Love of an Author web series that I started, it was about self-publishing, and it was about being an independent writer and not having the reins of having an agent or an actual publisher uh, doing your work, because it's your work. You put in the hours, you put in the effort, you put in the time to write your story or stories that you are sharing with the world, and it means something to you. So that is why I had started that series, to help other writers in my field who are self-published or independently published in one way or another. uh, it's difficult, it's a lot of work. um, like I said, it's a lot of work, and you put your whole self into that body of work that you do. And I also gave a lot of insight on my books and the series in these, because it is a series, um, that started my growth and my changes throughout all these years that I've been around. When you go from a high school student to getting out into the real world, you know, you learn a lot about yourself, and you learn about other people, and you learn how to cope and deal with circumstances and situations that are completely out of your control. And I went through a lot of bad time in my 20s, and that is usually when high school students who are in college are starting to learn more about themselves and starting to adapt with real world issues and circumstances, and how we cope and deal with that. And through that period of time that I had, I just wrote. I wrote constantly, and that's something that you constantly crave to do, and you want to do it. You find it therapeutic. You find it nourishing on your heart and your soul, and that was the reason I started a testimonial series here just in 2016. And coincidentally, with that series is returning. However, um, the actual web series of the Life, Living, and Love of an Author will not be returning. That is my news for you, that web series will no longer be available. So you will have the first two seasons of that series for you. And if you are new to the writing format, my advice to you is remain true to who you are and what you write, because that is what will captivate your reader or your audience. And you might have time of struggle through that period, like I have. And it is a struggle for independent writers. Will always be something like that if you're not fully committed to it, or you just don't aren't motivated or determined enough. Well, I want to let you know that if that's all you think about day in and day out is writing, then you're a writer. And you're always going to be a writer. I realized that myself so long ago when I did all, my writing. The best time I write is when I'm under stress, worry, or I'm just not being my authentic self. So that's where my writing goes to, is in that way. So if you are in that situation to share your story with the world, just remain true to who you are. Be your authentic self, because that will pay off in the long run. It might take a year, it might take months, it might take more than a year, depending on the direction that you want to go as a self-published or independent writer and author, because there are so many of us out there, online and social media. So rest assured, this is my advice to you. Stay true to you. Always be who you are. You're going to continue to learn and grow as a human being, as an individual. That's who you are. That's how we grow and we learn, and how we cope with things or deal with it. Be an inspiration to someone, inspire someone, and never give up. If this is what you truly are meant to do, you're going to do what you need to do to be a success, because I have learned on my own terms that real success is not defined on money or fame or fortune or being in the limelight all the time. But you somehow crave the attention because you want people to know about your work, and you want to help somebody, and you want to be that comfort to someone when they read your book or your story. And I know a lot of best-selling authors are like that. Some, not all, some. And don't get that confused with, actual people who have been in show business for quote unquote 10 or 15 years and decided they wanted to write a book, because they have the money and the funds to get a publisher, to get an agent, to get a marketing team, to get the promotion that they need to do that. And they have people writing the book. They don't sit down and actually write the book. That's the difference between independent writers to best-selling authors who have that in parentheses on their book, best-selling author or celebrity author. Don't get confused with that, because those who do the real work are real, authentic, true to their work authors and writers. I love connecting with people. That will always be my forefront, is that connection I have with someone and being able to be that comfort in the long run. So I had to take a lot of considerable thought into not returning with the web series, because I have other obligations in my life now. I have more priorities, but yet I am still writing on the side and still fulfilling my dreams. And I'm living my dreams every day in one way or another, whether I am, a little known author out there on social media. That to me is gratification, that someone takes the time to actually sit down and read my books, not just on a Kindle or an ebook, but in the actual paperback. So I want to say this before I close this video, that you can stay tuned to all the books, the the previous books in this series, the Journey Collection series, online. And eventually there will be some new things coming, and great things are coming in the works, and it's all in progression. It, like I say, it's a lot of work that you do on your own as a writer and author. So be prepared to do a lot of work, and just never give up, because it can be very discouraging at times if someone does not like what you do. And there are people that are like that out there. So never give up. Always live the dream, and always keep fighting for what you believe in. And before I close real quickly, the testimony series that I started in 2016 was more about me and where I come from as a human being, and where it's leading me up to now with my new book coming out in May. So I want to thank you all for always looking back on season 1 and season 2 of The Life, Living, and Love of an Author. I appreciate that so much. It's very humbling to me to know that you take the time to read, everything that I put my heart and soul into. That's what it means to me. And I get a little misty-eyed when I think about it, because it's true. And it really does mean a lot. And I thank you very much. And I can't wait to bring all what's new in my life to you in one way or another. So stay tuned to the YouTube channel. There'll be other things coming up this year in 2017. Good luck to all you upcoming writers and authors, and I will see you on social media.